Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Kamara gets it again on second down.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
Play fake. Winston. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick 6, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy is nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston.
Open man is the tight end, Troutman.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Jameis to throw it. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Winston to the right side and complete to Thomas.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
Winston now. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the 49ers are going to get the football back.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Working from the gun, Lance.
And that'll be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Lance looking to throw it.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Deontay Hardy back deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now Lance on the bootleg.
On the move to his left. Gets this one to Juszczyk.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And this is something you don't see too much of. Fullbacks trying to stretch the field. But he does a nice job there getting lost out in space and comes up with a really nice gain.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Lance to throw it.
And his throw is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there that they want to capitalize on.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And he'll be brought down well short of the 1st at about the 9-yard line.
4th down field goal try coming, so Lance is off, and on comes Robbie Gould.
The kick by Gould is good, and that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter.
So a great 1st quarter continues here as they add on to that lead.
And Brandon, I think it sets up what's going to be an important drive because it's now 17-0. So the other guys, they got to figure out something quick before this game gets away from them.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Hit and drop behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this 1st quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it.
And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And Lance now to throw.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Here we go.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Ultra. Go ultra. Ready?
This a give to Mack running to the right. And some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
52 blaster.
The Lance going to throw.
Touchdown! George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the 49ers are able to add on to their first half lead.
Gold with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Winston.
A quick one here hauled in by Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A first down throw for Winston.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
They go play action. Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
To throw, Winston.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Lance. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So maybe some signs of life. This has been a defense. They've been all over the map here in this first half, but they're coming through with a big play.
And sometimes that one play is what you need. And it sounds overly simple, but this is a team that was close to being down and out before halftime. So to come back and return the interception for a touchdown, that's big.
Yeah, maybe it can serve, Charles, like you were alluding to, as a little bit of a wake-up call for them. We'll see.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Lance going back to the air after the pick 6.
That's complete to Marlon Mack. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here's Lance. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
17.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 23. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 2nd and 11 now. Lance. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series because drives like that.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. David Onyemata there on the tackle. Looking to throw on second down. Lance. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel. His first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Gold for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left. More than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Thomas.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
On play action, Lance.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
From his end zone, Wilson.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Now Gray on the jet sweep, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
And able to haul it in is Kittle.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
To throw, it's Lance.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Kamara trying the right side. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Kamara will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
2nd down and goal. Winston, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
3rd and goal. Winston.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that
is intercepted at the goal line. picked off by Jason Verrett. Accelerating, and off he goes. 30, the 20. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for two, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
Let's go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Jameis to throw it. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Fourth down, Winston. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. They'll throw again. Winston.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
On play action, Winston. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And some room to maneuver, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
So So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Here's Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Troutman, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here we go. Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, all of a sudden, we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Down.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And now this 4th quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. If they have to use timeouts, what are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lance.
This one caught by Kittle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
The Lance going to throw.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the 49ers add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Flat.
On the draw is Sermon.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
4th down field goal try coming, so Lance is off, and on comes Robbie Gould.
The kick by Gould is good.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters, and this deficit is going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis again.
That's out to the flat for Ingram. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Touchdown! Jarvis Landry, 28 yards.
And the Saints get a bit closer. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Ready?
Now on 2nd and 13.
Lance.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be out right at the 35.
Ready up.
Lance and Kittle in sync for the 49er first.
Hut.
On the handoff, running left, Marlon Mack.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Trouble, 38. Cut.
Throwing now is Lance. He dumps this off, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Loose inside the 30, inside the 10. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Right, 60. Red, yellow. Ready.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Lance. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
52 blaster. Strike.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And Lance now to throw. Able to complete this one to McCloud. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Mack. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Now Winston.
Pass complete, Thomas.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Here's Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. It's his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Winston to throw.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Ambry Thomas.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Here we go. Set.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Ready.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
Okay, right?
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Niners, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.